Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. And I hope you got your emo face back on because we are talking about Wednesday Addams.
Let's go.
Look out, drummer's gonna put some dirt in your eye. But yes, we're talking about the latest Netflix series from the minds of people like Tim Burton. And
It's hurting my eyes. I'm not gonna do it.
And it stars one of the biggest and brightest upcoming actresses of this decade, which is Jenna Ortega. From X to the new Scream to Camp Cretaceous, she is a rising star.
Uh, Jenna Ortega. Sorry. As you can see, I have a very big crush on Jenna Ortega.
But before we get started, how did you hear about this series?
Look, all I knew is that Netflix announced that, hey, we're having a Wednesday show. And I'm like, fuck! Please don't ruin the Addams Family for me. Because we didn't do a review on it, but with Archie, they didn't really do so well. In my opinion.
I don't think we'll ever do one.
No, thank God.
Yeah.
And some other Netflix shows that didn't really do so well, except for Cobra Kai. And what other live action series that Netflix did right?
Honestly, I'm still scarred by Cowboy Bebop, so I wouldn't know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they don't really have a good track record
when
it comes to live action.
Sandman, but that's really not teen. That's more like for the comic book crowd.
Yeah. Like for teen movies teen shows like this one. So I was kind of skeptical. I was like, fuck. How are they gonna do Wednesday? I love the old Addams Family movies. That's what I grew up on. I didn't watch the show, sadly, but I watched the movies countless times. And seeing this, and I saw who the director was, I was like, I can be wrong. I can be wrong. And I was right. I mean, like, yes, I am wrong. That's what I mean. Anyway, but yeah, I fairly enjoyed the show. We're not done with the review, but like, the show was promising once it came out. I watched it. The first time watching it, I watched it with my mom because she was trying it out. I saw the first episode. I was like, this is not bad.
Yeah.
And knowing it's directed by Tim Burton, I was like, okay, I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, the first 4 episodes are directed by Tim Burton, and you feel his presence, right? This is very Tim Burton-esque, and I appreciate it. Which makes sense because he directed the first few movies.
I do miss his style of making the environment very isolated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you noticed in Nightmare Before Christmas or Edward Scissorhands, the town just felt like a town, like nothing else outside it.
Yeah.
I guess you do kind of feel it with Jericho and Nevermore, but it kind of felt more open.
Yeah.
I didn't feel as trapped.
Yeah. Well, as for me, this always came up coming up on Netflix, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. Even when every single promotion was like, this is going to be one of the biggest shows, and it surpassed Stranger Things as the most streamed show of this year. And I was like, maybe it's just hype and no substance. And then you told me it was pretty good, so I was like, all right, I'll check it out, and we'll do a video on this for the sake of talking about good content, which this is. And I was surprised of how instantly hooked I was. I was like, you know what? I had my doubts, but I am very surprised with the show in very good ways. And some of the actresses or actors I didn't know were in it. I didn't know Gwendolyn Christie was in it. I was like, shit.
Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
I was like, right? And she looked fabulous. Like they would always depict like Gwendolyn Christie as this mountain of a woman who wears armor and defies, gender norms.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. That's a good message that you're gonna put. But knowing the fact that she had her comment about Wednesday, the show, is that this is her first time feeling beautiful. I was like, Hey, man, that's empowering. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
Good on you, good on Christy.
Also didn't know that Catherine Zeta-Jones was Wednesday's mother, and Luis Guzman is Gomez Adams. So I'm like, that's a pretty good casting choice for both of them.
Right. And people were mad with Gomez because he wasn't that sexy looking man from the 90s movies. I was like, but Gomez from the start was a pudgy dude with a mustache.
Yeah. They were also pretty mad that someone named Luis Guzman portrayed someone named Gomez Adams. We were like, it's a Latino name though.
Right?
What's your problem?
I don't get it. They're like, a Latino guy playing Gomez Adams? I'm like, he is Latino.
Yeah.
You're
like Oscar Isaac portrayed him in the animated show, so what? Or movies. So what's your problem there? Why didn't you have a problem there? Because he's Oscar Isaac. As a live action.
People are weird. People are weird. The internet's weird.
Yeah. But like again, like Andor, we're not going to do this chronologically because there's a lot to take in. But first and foremost, how did you feel about the titular character, Wednesday Addams?
I like her.
Yeah.
Like, man, you know how if this was directed by anybody else or starred by or portrayed by anybody else, I would feel like Wednesday Addams would have been like a try-hard emo girl that doesn't give a fuck. Here, she does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I love that character. Like, that's her by default. She's not trying to prove anything. She just hates you guys.
Yeah.
I love it. Jenna Ortega did an amazing job playing her, and she made Wednesday Addams very
human.
No, God no.
I like to torture people too.
She's the deepest thoughts in our minds. The thing that scratches at the back of our heads. No. She made Wednesday Addams like a very recognizable, but at the same time very unique character. Like she made Wednesday her own Wednesday.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, Christina Ricci, my bad, sorry for not her names. Who played the old Wednesday was also here.
Yeah, that's surprised me. I was like, the fuck?
I was like, wait a minute.
That's Miss Thornhill?
Yeah. So that's kind of a cool cameo.
Yeah.
Not really cameo. She was a full-fledged character here.
Yeah.
So comparing her and her as two different Wednesdays, again, very similar. Very bleak. They're still a bleak person. But at the same time, like you could tell the difference between Jenna Ortega and Christina Ricci. So that I love that.
Yeah, and you feel for her too when there are moments where she has to show other emotions, like what happens with Ting near the end, and you're like, oh, for Wednesday, or like when she sees Uncle Fester and she has that genuine smile, you're like, I really like this Wednesday. I really do.
I do too. Like they don't show emotion.
Yeah.
With her character, like I love how Tim Burton. I saw an interview with Jenna Ortega. I don't know who was the host, but Tim Burton asked her to blink as less as possible, like least as possible. Like whatever you do, just try not to blink a lot. Thus making her kind of like dead.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a good like move on Tim Burton here. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Wednesday.
My god.
Good characterizations. And the show that surrounded Wednesday with very compelling characters, like her roommate Enid Sinclair, or like it's that meme of like high energy, and then Wednesday's just like low energy. Yeah,
and I love the design of the room. Again, Tim Burton had a hand in that for sure, where hers is this like the stained glass window, and it's cut in half. One's like very dark, the other one's very colorful, and it's such a good shot. Seeing them stand in between the tape.
Yeah, and like they all have their own struggles with their families. Like Enid's family really wants her to become a werewolf because she is the late bloomer, and Wednesday doesn't want to be in the school because she doesn't want to be molded into what her family
Mom.
wants her to be. Her mom wants her to be.
It is a very shocking story choice because I never saw this kind of dynamic between Morticia Adams and Wednesday Adams.
Yeah.
Where they kind of just like, yes, we are two fucked up people in this world who like very dark and evil shit.
Yeah.
And I never had that feeling of, oh, she's an overbearing mother. She and Wednesday resents her.
Yeah.
Like, I never felt that until now.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, okay, fine. She's a teenager. It works.
And the fact that her mom's a very over-accomplished alumni, like she's the head of the fencing team, she is everyone's desire. She's a very accomplished student. Like I'm sure you can relate to this, where people are like, "Why aren't you like your predecessor?" Did I hit home?
Man, I should have just like dropped some piranhas in the pool while they were swimming.
But yeah,
That's cool.
like one scene I really love, just because I love Wednesday's gear, was the fencing scene between her and Bianca. I was like, I would kill for Wednesday's gear.
Oh, the whole black.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that shit was sick. And then she goes military challenge,
Yeah,
or where no helmet and the first one to draw blood,
yeah.
and no tips. I was like, that's so fucking cool. The
I-
choreography's fucking great. Like, I don't know if it was Jenna Ortega, but whoever was doing the stunts, kudos. Fuck.
Yeah.
You're doing a really good job. And their stats were great
Yeah.
from what I could see. It didn't look dull or didn't look out of place. Like how you would see if somebody tried to portray a boxer when they don't know anything about being a boxer.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's what spoke to my heart, because like the first two hits, I'm like, this is actual fencing. They're not bullshitting this. And then when they do the
Yeah.
whole first blood, I was like, yeah, I can't relate to this. I never went. Hey partner, let's do this for real.
This was the point where it was a little bit over exaggerated.
Yeah,
yeah. Where she kicks her hand that had the blade.
Yeah.
It's like you'll do like a flip.
Yeah, just like the first 2 points, you're like, this speaks so much to me. And then I was like, you know what? You got the first two. I'm happy with the ridiculousness of the last match.
Yeah.
Before we get into the other characters, like going to the story, like the story really focuses on Wednesday trying to stop this prophecy, the destruction of the school, and trying to solve a murder mystery that involves her father. And I like how they intertwine with each other, because like she always wants to escape the school, and the dean always has her eyes on her. She even enrolls her in therapy, but she tries to escape. But like during one of the fairgrounds, she is encountered by Rowan, who says, "You're part of the prophecy to destroy the school. I must kill you." But he's killed by a monster,
Yes.
and that monster, if it was not Tim Burton-esque, I would say looked poorly designed. But because it's Tim Burton, it's in a Tim Burton universe. I'm like, it makes sense why it looks
It
like
makes
that.
sense, right?
Yeah,
And not gonna lie, like first time seeing it, I was like, oh, it's kind of goofy.
yeah,
But once they started like investigating, and then you would see, God, what was his name? Xavier's like art studio
Yeah.
where he had like the paintings of it
yeah,
and the photo. I was like, bit by bit, I was like, this thing's starting to freak me out.
yeah,
I was like, it's kind of getting to me.
yeah. I like that. That pushes the plot forward. And like first, she's like, "I saw Rowan die in front of me," and he comes back as himself. And he's like, "It's fine. I'm okay." And he later find
Yeah.
out that Principal Weems shifted into him to maintain order, because we
Oh,
can't
yeah.
afford this.
Yeah, she's a shapeshifter. Okay, I want to talk about Principal Weaves here. I really like this character. a lot.
Yeah,
Like there are a lot of strong characters here when it came to like the principal. Christina Ricci's character.
Miss
What was her name
Thornhill?
again? Miss Thornhill. And I am horrible with names. I'm so sorry. Thing, and her best friend, the werewolf girl.
yeah,
Like they were also strong, and especially the two love interests with Tyler and Xavier.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, this shit's sick that Tim Burton and the rest of the other directors, sorry if I'm not including your names here, did an amazing job with like spreading out their characters.
Yeah. And then she kind of develops this relationship with Tyler. Where like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I am buying it 100%.
Right? It's not some bullshit love story.
Yeah.
Like this dude's actually going out of his way to court this girl, and like I do love their first interaction where she reads Italian,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You can speak Italian?" He's like, "Yes," because of what was it again? Machiavelli.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that. Their dynamic for me worked, where he was like the meek, kind of chill guy, while she's like the destructive, very dark character.
Yeah.
And him doing like the date shit, I was like, this is convincing. This is not bullshit. Oh, she fell in love with him because the script told her to. No, this you could see the effort went into it.
Yeah.
I do have a complaint with their relationship, but once we get to that plot twist, we'll get there. I'll talk about it.
And you feel like Xavier wants Wednesday as well, but he doesn't know how to go for it because he's jealous of Tyler being in the way.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck.
I didn't like Xavier that much.
Yeah.
I preferred Tyler. It's just a shame Tyler's end. But
Yeah.
Xavier for me was just like
A bit too whiny.
yeah, a bit too whiny. No, I'm not taking jabs at Percy Hines White here,
Yeah.
but his character was a bit whiny. You did an amazing job though. When he was trying to be likable, he was likable.
Yeah.
But when he whined, he really whined.
Yeah, and I guess that's the point of the character. But I do like Wednesday investigating what this monster is, what its origins is, and what it has to do with this town. Because the sheriff is constantly investigating, and he's breathing down the neck of Nevermore, and they have to fend for themselves essentially because they're outcasts. This is exactly like Professor X and the mutants. Like they're.
Yeah.
I find it weird that the mayor, who's African American, has an attraction called Pilgrim World, where like
This is the honest thing as well. That Wednesday pointed out. No. Hey man, that was very self-aware because, like, for Mayor Noble to be like, hey, we're just trying to get in tourists, and the only way how is that this was a very popular pilgrim spot.
yeah,
So he just played along with it. But when Wednesday was like, you really gonna make a theme park out of this? Made me laugh so hard because the director was very self-aware.
Yeah.
They weren't like, oh yeah, the African American guy would totally do this. No, he wouldn't. But he did it for profit.
yeah. Because the two things contributing to Jericho is Pilgrim
Tourism.
World, tourism,
Yeah.
and Nevermore. Because that's the
Yeah.
only two things the town really relies on. Other than that, it's just I guess the town will die off.
And like, from my words in Halloween, why would you bully the things that can kill you?
Right?
Y'all gotta fucking make up your mind. It's either you wanna live or not.
Yeah. Going back a bit, like it's from the boat race that we first see Goody Adams when she's like, "You're the key." Like, what fucking Batman versus Superman shit is this? Who's the key? Why is Wednesday the key? And later on, you
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like it when Wednesday gets that vision or flashback tour in the Pilgrim's Day with Joseph Crackstone.
Goebbels? Oh.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, and Nazis also hated things they found different from themselves. Why not?
Yeah, I just keep spotting up like World War II. Shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah. Sorry, going back to the Joseph Crackstone, cool name by the way. Like the whole town just kind of revolved themselves with hating the outcasts, even though that is their biggest source of income.
Yeah.
Like that was a big theme here, is that you kind of have to be supervised if you want to go into town, because you will be like harassed or some shit
Yeah.
by the townsfolk. And I was like, damn, again, these people are vampires and werewolves. You really want to fuck up right now?
Yeah.
You really want to fuck with him right now?
Speaking with fucking the outcasts, fucking with the outcasts. I mean, like I love it when I love it when Wednesday kicks ass. Like it makes sense that she's using her technique. It's not like she's throwing haymakers left and right. She's just using her opponent's momentum and their weak spots against them. Like that's smart. That is Wednesday.
And really good writing here too, because they do this whole thing where they show then tell.
Yeah.
Where when she started her fencing thing with Bianca,
Yeah.
she fenced and then she had that conversation with her father episodes down the line where remember when you were the prodigy at 5 for fencing?
Yeah.
I was so proud of you, blah blah blah. They showed then tell, like how she got those skills.
Yeah.
With the cafe scene where she kicks their asses. They're like, whoa, where did you learn kung fu? How did you kick their asses? Oh, I was in me and my uncle were in a monastery. Oh, as monks? As prisoners. Again, they showed then tell. That's how you fucking do it.
Yeah. What's the name of the big guy? I do love Eugene. That guy really reminds me of Dustin and Stranger Things, but Eugene is cool. That's why I felt so sorry when he got attacked by the monster. You're like, fuck, not Eugene.
No, dude, okay. By the way, to everybody who's watching and hasn't watched Wednesday, this thing is not meant for kids.
No.
There is a shit ton of gore here. And a fuck ton of death.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times you don't even expect them to commit to a kill, but they do.
Yeah.
So, when they show us a character that we like in a vision getting ripped apart, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like the monster literally kills so brutally. We're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah. And like, I was like, they can't just kill this person we really like off.
Yeah.
Okay. But Deus Ex Machina, they're like, he's horribly wounded, but he'll be fine.
You're like, sure.
Yeah.
Going before then, I do love the Raven dance scene where Wednesday shows her. Yeah. Like that clip went insanely viral. That's one of the reasons why I was like, I should watch this.
Dude, same here. I was like watching this, I was like, Jennifer, take a look and find this.
Yeah.
Sorry, like her very like deadpan 1,000-yard stare with her pouty lips. I was like, I don't know what it is, but it hits the right spot.
Yeah. There's also the moment I was like, I really don't like Xavier because he tells his dad, like, can you just wipe my memory for him?
Oh yeah, that was a dick move.
Yeah.
Especially like his date was his ex.
Yeah.
And the reason why he's asking her to do that is because he wants to forget this girl he fell in love with.
Yeah.
Really? That's such a... What a cuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But Wednesday Addams, Janet Orchid does look super fine in that dress. Like, fuck, you are very pretty.
I love that move where she disappears and like pops up behind him and taps him on the shoulder.
Yeah, again, very Tim Burton-esque. Like, only Tim Burton can give that kind of direction and make it work where it's not like, really?
Yeah. By the way, this shit is gonna bring back a lot of goth chicks. A lot of girls are gonna go back to their goth phase because of this. And respect to the ones who committed.
Yeah.
But also, more power to you if you want to start now because of Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody gotta go through it. I haven't gone through it, but I'll get there.
Though my favorite episode has to be like when Wednesday solves her father's mystery and you see how perspectives change.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You can tell that her mom knows something and that her father's hiding something. Because when he's like, yeah, I got the story and I stabbed the guy and it was a terrible mistake. And Wednesday's like, your body language says something different. Because he's arrested for it. And the sheriff's like, yeah, finally vindicated. But no, that's not the truth. And Morticia has to be the one to be like, no, I was the one who killed, I forgot the guy's name, but the aggressor with the sword.
Well, one of like something Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the Gates.
Yeah.
He's so like, I got so lost in that episode because I was like, how the fuck did Gomez get out and Morticia stayed out as well? Is that the guy actually died, or was already destined to die
Yeah.
before Morticia stabbed him, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because they admitted to the nightshade poison. Like, he was going to kill a lot of other outcasts, and the vial broke in his jacket pocket. So that's why it went down that way. So I guess you can't say, really, you're more responsible for his death than the other.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, you're really gonna put somebody in jail for trying to stop a mass genocide
Yeah.
of a school.
Yeah. But as the story goes along, you see a very real possible relationship between Wednesday and Tyler. Like, after the birthday fiasco, he really wants to date, and he makes her watch Legally Blonde.
Oh, Legally Blonde.
And she's just like,
she was like,
oh, this
like
is
her eyes
madness.
were just like. I love how Tyler's like prepared to be scared.
Yeah.
And like that was torture. Thank you.
And then after that, he shoots his shot. You're like, yeah, man, you miss 100% of the shots you take, but you might get this one.
Yeah. And sadly, the cock block father comes in. It's like, freeze! And I was like, damn it! Just let him kiss!
Yeah. Also, like how that shows, like, during the birthday episode, that these characters are humans. Like, after they almost get killed by the monster, Enid's like, you only care about yourself. You only use us to get what you want. I'm done. I'm not your roommate anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah, and she gets Xavier arrested.
Yeah.
Because, well, I can't blame her. Because Xavier's kind of sus the entire fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, hey,
I have weird paintings.
Yeah, like, that's the monster. Like, in your paintings. How do you know what he looks like, and how do you know where it lives?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's this painting of the recent murdered victim, and then Xavier goes, how could you think that I'm the monster? And I was like,
I don't know
how
what he
could she
has.
not?
After the monster attacks the therapist and he has the painting of her being scratched up, you're like, what makes you think that she thinks you're not?
Right? Like, man, you're not doing yourself service here. Especially when you kind of stalk her at the same time,
Yeah.
when she's with this guy that she likes, and then you just appear out of nowhere
Yeah.
to help when the monster comes along. Yes, you are very sus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Xavier, but Tyler should have won this love interest.
Like, the show is very good at leading you places, because I really did think, like, I guess Xavier's it, and the therapist were the two main leads, because you discovered that the hide needs a host or like another partner to bring out the hide from
Yeah.
Uncle Fester, which I love the casting of Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester. Like,
I did
perfect.
recognize him, to be honest.
Right?
I was like, that is really good.
Yeah.
As much as I love, God, what was his name? From Back to the Future.
Oh shit, Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester. Fuck, I have horrible names.
Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen did an amazing job as Uncle Fester, but I still do prefer Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah,
More.
and like that moment when he's trying to revive Han, you see like again genuine
You mean
emotion.
Thing?
Sorry, Han. Thing. Sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
he is.
He is.
Yeah.
You see like genuine emotion from Wednesday. You're like, oh, her heart's breaking, because it's like
Yeah.
the Scorpion all over again.
Right. Dude, I don't know why that scene broke my heart. Like, this huge-ass scorpion gets run over by a bike by some bullies while Wednesday had to watch. That shit broke my heart.
Yeah.
And then you see Wednesday was just very sad. And then she sees Thing, like, dying. I was like... She was, like, trying to stop her tears.
Yeah.
That was really good acting from Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. But like when you think they're on the clear and Wednesday can shoot her shot, the big twist is that, lo and behold, Tyler's the monster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but, like, a couple of murders later...
Yeah.
The mayor's dead. A student is dead. The therapist is dead. Who else is dead?
A lot of other people.
Yeah, a camper's dead. A truck driver's dead, and a hobo's dead.
Yeah.
They killed a lot of people in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
She
yeah.
finally finds out that oh shit, Tyler was the one who murdered.
Yeah.
Which is odd. I gotta point out is that if she didn't have these visions, this is like a new thing, by the way. The whole vision things with Wednesday. She never had this in the old show. She never had this in the old movie.
That's why I had to go back to the movies. I'm like, did she ever have this?
No, she never had these.
Yeah.
So if she didn't have this, she's not a really great investigator. Because she condemned the man to prison if she didn't have that vision.
Yeah. Even Tyler, when she captures him, he's like, "You're really gonna rely on some vision you had for hardcore evidence?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and starts tasing him.
Yeah. The rest of the students are like, whoa, we only talked about capturing him, not hardcore torturing him.
Yeah, and then I like it that Wednesday's committed, where everybody was like, "We're out. Cool, that's fine. I'm still doing this."
Yeah.
Anyway, how about a reflex test? I'm like, what?
She's about to go dead as Joel from The Last of Us. Like, Jesus Christ.
I love it.
Yeah. The
I love
principal,
it.
Weems, was like, "Hey, Sheriff, we have a problem. We have a big problem."
Yeah, and they're kind of bad timing, knowing the fact that that's the sheriff's son.
Yeah. Also, before that, going back a bit, they find out that Laurel Graves is still alive after the sheriff says she drowned. But no, she's still alive, and she still has her childhood home, still has a box filled with Wednesday's photos. Like, for a dead person, that's very odd.
Yeah, and like the mayor was going in and out of it, so it was a really sketchy situation. By the way, if y'all didn't notice, the mayor, the actor for the mayor, I'm trying to get his name, Tommy Earl Jenkins, played that guy from Death Stranding, the one with the skull face. I was like, his voice sounded so familiar. I was like wondering who it was. Let me look it up. But go on.
That no, Tim Burton was a fan of Hideo Kojima. That makes sense, though.
It does make sense because Hideo Kojima was a very big fan of
Tim Burton.
Yeah. He was a diehard man. There you go. But he's an amazing actor, and I loved him in Death Stranding when I played it.
And the police officer, Tyler, outwardly confesses to Wednesday. You're like, "You're really confessing this in a police station?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't get you.
Like Tyler's like, "Oh, nobody's gonna believe you."
Yeah.
Like I won.
Yeah.
And shit, I was like nobody's hearing this. Like that lady right next to us, who's like on her like stall. Really, you're not hearing this conversation.
Yeah, not like freeze. No, you're deaf apparently.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, "I'm working overtime. Fuck this shit."
And then Principal Williams like, "You know what? We have no choice but to expel you." And then she has to say her goodbyes, but her last request is to see Eugene, who's awake. And he gives a very important clue. It's like, "Hey, when I was over in the Monster Slayer, and they exploded the cave, I saw that the person who made the fire wasn't wearing black boots, but was wearing red boots." And you're like, "Miss Thornhill wears red boots."
Mm-hmm.
Miss Thornhill is actually Laurel Graves.
Yep. Was it Graves or Gates?
Yeah, sorry, Gates. Gates, my bad.
Yeah. But yeah, we find that out. But the whole time, this whole show did such a good job with misleading us with characters who we felt genuine connections to, like with the Thornberry girl. What's her name?
Thornhill?
Oh yeah, she did feel like a teacher who cared.
Yeah.
Like she's a normie, but she's too weird for normies and not weird enough for the outcasts.
Yeah, she's like the normie professor in Harry Potter who ultimately gets killed by Voldemort. We're like, I liked her though.
Yeah. Who was the normie?
I forget her name, but I'm sure someone in the comments will say who it was.
Anyway. And with Tyler, where I was like, this is my first pick. Lo and behold, I would have been ripped apart if I was Wednesday.
But yeah,
Yeah.
she convinces Principal Weems to be like, you can't believe what Eugene just told me. And then she tricks Laurel to be like, oh, that's Tyler. And she's like spouting bullshit like, you know what, fuck
Yeah.
this shit. Tyler, please kill Wednesday. And Tyler's like, I'm not Tyler. I am Principal Weems.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. Like, I was like, this show misleads me a lot, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Because, like, Tyler's supposed to be in the train waiting for, like, an ambush.
Yeah.
But she never made it to the train.
Yeah.
I really thought they weren't going to commit to this kill, but they did, because Gwendolyn Christie is such a good actress, and I really liked her character here.
Yeah. This and The Sandman were like, I'm really glad that shows and movies are finally showing Gwendolyn Christie's strengths as an actress.
Yeah.
But Wednesday's knocked out to be brought into the crypt to revive Joseph Crackstone. And then for Wednesday takes a beating when he revives and he stabs you. Like, I can't believe the show's really committed to violence. Jesus Christ, Wednesday might die in this one.
Yeah, but when Joseph Crackstone comes back, he does stab Wednesday and turns the knife. I was like, I guess we're only here for one season.
Right? Thankfully, Thing alerts Enid and her Medusa, I don't know what you call the creature, boyfriend.
Gorgon.
Organ?
Gorgon.
Gorgon, thank you.
Yeah.
And
her Ajax, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, he's named after soap. So.
What's my name? I'm gonna spell it out for you.
Francis.
But no, Enid tries to make it to Wednesday. At the same time, Goody is like, your pendant can summon spirits and it can help heal you.
I didn't like this one.
Yeah.
That's probably my only nitpick. I would deduct points for this one. This Deus Ex Machina thing kind of threw me off because this whole show showed Wednesday Addams being like very, I would say, resilient and very independent.
Yeah.
And like she could take care of things her own way. And then this whole Deus Ex Machina thing happens and it just threw me off, in my opinion. It was just a very like lazy way to make Wednesday Addams come back.
Yeah. Then again, you'd be like, how does she recover from twisted guts and internal bleeding?
Then don't commit to the fucking knife wound.
Right?
But like, don't stab her if you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, she's gonna fight Joseph Crackstone while trying to hold like her blood in. Like, I feel like they could have done this a little bit better without using Goody
Magic.
Addams.
Yeah, same here. I was like that solves the problem, but at the same time, it makes it a bit less.
The stakes kind of went down.
Yeah. Then again, she said you can only do this once. So I guess in the future, you said only once.
Yeah. So this better not fucking happen again.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to have seen Wednesday Addams with a knife wound and the sword in on the other hand.
Yeah.
And her, like, probably bleeding to death. That would have been such a badass scene.
Yeah. But Enid makes in time because she's, again, cornered by Tyler, who's the hide. And Enid transforms into her werewolf form, finally. And that transformation sequence, you're like, I like this. I like this a lot.
Right? Like, from all the CGI bullshit that we get from Netflix, this one works really well. Well, they filmed it at night, so it helped a lot.
Yeah.
But this fight was so sick.
Yeah.
It was so grotesque. Like, you could tell that they're... Like, what was her name again? Enid.
Yeah.
Enid turned into an actual werewolf, not that bullshit Twilight shit where she's just a dog. No, she was this freaky thing with claws and she was scratching shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. And the fight was rough. They were both scratching each other.
Yeah. And Tyler's ultimately stopped by his dad, who always knew that, oh shit, my son got his mother's traits and I need to protect him. But it's too late now. But once they makes it back to the school where Joseph Crackstone is about to kill all the outcasts, but thankfully most of them are out thanks to Bianca and the rest of the Sirens. I love how Thornhill or Laurel's mounting off and he's like, silence, woman! She's like, never meet your heroes, I guess.
Yeah, I love that line delivery.
Like, silence, woman, I will have your tongue. She's like, alright then.
Yeah, she was like just so done with it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. I mean, I brought you back to life, like, no biggie.
And then that's when Wednesday has her confrontation with Joseph Crackstone. I do like the end fight where she even takes an arrow to the shoulder. Like, fuck, Wednesday's getting all the hits this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she was getting hurt.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't like how he like died.
Yeah,
Where he was like burning up from the inside and then like black smoke coming out of his mouth. That shit was sick.
She gets aid from Bianca from behind, and then she stabs him in the front, and then after that, they're just like...
And it's very realistic too, because she gets a... Like, her sword breaks within the fight.
Yeah.
She gets a broken piece and stabs Joseph Crackstone. And when she twists and turns the blade, she lets go of it, and she has a huge cut in her hand.
Yeah.
Attention to detail. Very good. Very nice.
And then I do love that sign of respect between Bianca and Wednesday. They're just like...
Like, we still hate each other, but like... Oops.
Yeah. And then Miss Thornhill tries to kill her with a gun, but she's stopped by Eugene. And Wednesday... I guess Wednesday ends her with a curb stomp.
I love that shit. No, she's not dead.
You don't know that. You don't see the aftermath. Matt.
If I don't see a body, I can't do.
That's true. Fine.
Yeah, and for sure they're gonna bring back Christina Ricci. You can't just kill her off in the first season. You gotta bring back the old Wednesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that shit where Eugene was like, "Don't we call the police? Look away, Eugene." And then immediately just curves on. I was like, I like this
full
too
on
much.
American History X, like, just like ends her night. Like, fuck.
I really like their take on Wednesday in this show. She is the highlight. Like, you know how shows would be like, this is the main character, but then you would like the like side characters more than the main character. Here, I'm all here for the main character.
Yeah. And then her and Enid finally have their hug where throughout this whole show, obviously Wednesday's not a hugger, but in this moment she's like, it would be in such birthdays if I didn't hug you.
No, it wasn't that. It's just that she saw how much Enid, fuck, how do you pronounce it? It's
Enid?
a hard name. Enid went through. Like, when she came back, she was all bloodied and shit.
Yeah.
And for sure she had cuts. So she was like, shit, my friend went through so much because of what I brought her into. So she pretty much hugged her. It was a nice, like, scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday completes part of her novel because she's like, the end? ? And then she meets with Xavier again, and he introduces her to the 21st century with a cell phone. He's like, it's about time you have this. Please. This is the 21st century, and you don't have... At least have something to call us during an emergency, for God's sake.
Yeah. I love that, like, especially with Wednesday, when she does show emotion, it means a lot, even though it's so small, where she's like this. That little bit of smile says so much because of how, like, you know. She does it throughout the show, maybe just twice.
Yeah.
Or 3 times.
Like, she definitely does it around Uncle Fester, but like he's family.
Yeah. But she does that with Tyler and then Xavier.
Yeah.
So, like, it is like a very impactful smirk.
Yeah. But she finds out she has a stalker, and that's for season 2. And you also find out that Tyler probably escapes his captivity.
Yeah. with the new scars and shit. So that's cool.
Yeah, but shit, man. I really like the show. I really dig it.
I also dig it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Ultimately, what would you rate this?
Besides the Deus Ex Machina shit and the whole love triangle, with Xavier's character, I would give this one a solid 9 out of 10. I'd like this show had me from the beginning, and still had me at the end. I love the character of Wednesday Addams, and I love from my past, and now with this new one with Jenna Ortega, I love her even more. And now I also have a very big crush on Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega, hi, if you're listening to Geeks and Degenerates, please, you could find me at JohnGeo on Instagram.
Don't forget the underscore. Don't forget the underscore, you fool.
Oh, right. GOM underscore on Instagram. It is my art account. I'm a big fan. You miss 100% of your shots you don't take. Okay?
That is true.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved the show. The side characters were great. The teachers were great. Gwendolyn and Christie, I fucking love you here as much as I do with Game of Thrones as Brienne Tarth. Oh god. Oh. Anyway, after shooting my shot with Jenna Ortega, it kind of took me out of it.
I can.
Oh yeah, yeah. The show is great. That's all I gotta say. Watch it if you're a fan of Tim Burton, or if you're a fan of the Addams Family. This show does it service.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give this an 8. It's a very good start. I really do like the show. The highlight for me will always be Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. She was amazing in the show. I believe her 100%, and I love the fact that Jenna Ortega, aside from camp flirtation, is sticking to horror or horror-esque movies or shows. Like she has the next Scream, she has this year's Scream, she has X, and like I hope she becomes the newest, the latest line of Scream Queens. Years down the line, when we're like, who's your favorite Scream Queen? We're like, Jenna Ortega. She's one of them. All the other characters are amazing. The actors did such a wonderful job, and Tim Burton set the atmosphere, and this show was consistent on that throughout the entire time. And I appreciate the show for that, and I cannot wait for season 2. And yeah, hi Jenna Ortega. If you see this, hello, my
No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
ID's also like that.
I already did.
I'm just looking for friends, that's it.
Man's never been in a committed relationship before.
I do like friendships though. But yeah, before we wrap this up, I would like to ask Drummer and the audience, what other Tim Burton properties would you like to see made into a show?
Dude, I would love them to make a stop motion show. I know that's so hard to do. That is very hard to do. But I would love to see either Corpse Bride or Nightmare Before Christmas as a show. Or, I don't know, like I would like to see Gotham in a stop motion style with Tim Burton's story with Batman. That'll be
So bitch took my answers.
You got Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, I would like to see a series on that, but like, I would like to expand on the Batman idea, because since Batgirl was cancelled and I wanted to see Leslie Grace as Batgirl, I was like, you could still make a series, have it be directed by Tim Burton, since it is set in that universe, and make her the possible Robin or successor to the Cal, since Michael Keaton's Batman is essentially the Batman from Batman Beyond in that universe. I would love to see that. Anyway, yeah, that's been our video on Wednesday. What do you guys think of it? Any other Tim Burton properties you would like to see adapted for a show, or maybe a longer movie? Please comment down below. If you want to see more of us here, we upload not every Wednesdays too, because our schedule's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of.
Hold on. You know, this man gave me the schedule of what we gotta film, and this man puts, "Oh, Monday this movie, Tuesday, Wednesday," and I'm like, I was like, what?
And ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We also have a Facebook, Spotify, and TikTok, all under the same name. Facebook to see us react to trailers. We did a couple already for Transformers and The Last of Us and Indiana Jones 5. And TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. I need some water. Individually, you can find me at Alpha995 on IG and Twitter. Again, hi Jenna Ortega. How you?
And that's taking my spotlight, hey.
You know answer?
I treat you right, Jenna. I treat you right. Just take it away before we embarrass ourselves even further.
But yes, that's all the time we have. And the next one after this one is another famous horror-ass director who's doing a remake of a classic tale. That's not Disneyfied anymore. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's pretty good. I hear it's pretty good. But until then, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.